It's strange how, when you're employed, you're told to be there at 8 a.m. and you arrive precisely at 8 a.m. for fear of being fired. But when you promise yourself you'll wake up early to read and change, you fail to do it. It's a curious paradox, isn't it? The sheer force of an external expectation, the looming threat of a manager's disapproval, can galvanize you into action with unerring precision. You set your alarm, you fight through the morning grogginess, you brave the commute, all to fulfill a commitment made to someone else. Yet when the commitment is to yourself, the person you were supposed to value most, that same resolve often crumbles into dust. The alarm is snoozed, the book remains unopened, and the promise of a better self is deferred to a tomorrow that never seems to arrive. This isn't just about waking up early. It's a profound metaphor for a much larger, more insidious pattern of self-betrayal that quietly sabotages our lives. We're always afraid of disappointing others, yet we easily promise ourselves to spend our lives building dreams for others, forgetting to build dreams for ourselves. This fear is a powerful, invisible puppeteer pulling our strings from the moment we wake. We dread the judgment in a boss's eyes, the disapproval in a partner's voice, the collective sigh of a team we've let down. This external validation becomes our compass, dictating our direction and our pace. We become masters of meeting expectations, experts at fulfilling obligations, and champions of others' causes. We pour our energy, our creativity, and our most precious hours into constructing magnificent edifices for our employers, our families, and our social circles. We dedicate our hearts and minds to laying the bricks of their legacies, often with a diligence and passion that is truly commendable. But in this frantic, relentless race to please, a quiet tragedy unfolds. The blueprint for our own dream house lies forgotten in a dusty corner of our minds. The foundation we meant to lay for our own aspirations remains unpaved. We become ghosts in our own stories, diligently authoring chapters for everyone else while leaving our own pages devastatingly blank. We tell ourselves it's noble, that it's responsible, but deep down, a nagging voice whispers the truth. We are abandoning the one person who will be with us until the very end, ourselves. This pattern of prioritizing external commitments over internal ones is not a simple flaw in character, it's a deeply ingrained psychological mechanism. The consequences of failing others are immediate, tangible, and often public. You might get a warning, lose a promotion, or face the outright humiliation of being fired. The social and financial repercussions are stark and terrifying. In contrast, the consequences of betraying yourself are silent, private, and incremental. Missing one workout, skipping one study session, or procrastinating on one chapter of your novel doesn't trigger an immediate crisis. There's no angry boss, no public shaming, just a quiet internal flicker of disappointment that is easy to extinguish with a simple excuse. I was too tired. I'll do it tomorrow. It's not that important anyway. We become masters of self-negotiation, granting ourselves endless extensions and pardons that we would never dare ask for from an employer. This slow erosion of self-trust is far more dangerous than any single external failure. Each broken promise, no matter how small, is like a tiny crack in the foundation of our self-worth. Over time, these cracks multiply and deepen until the entire structure of our self-belief becomes unstable, ready to crumble under the slightest pressure. We convince ourselves that building someone else's dream is a safer, more practical path. It comes with a pre-approved plan, a steady paycheck, and a sense of security. Chasing our own dream, however, is a terrifying leap into the unknown. It requires us to be our own boss, our own motivator, and our own harshest critic. There is no guaranteed reward, no clear roadmap, and the potential for failure looms large and menacing. So we choose the well-trodden path, the one illuminated by the expectations of others. We trade the thrilling, unpredictable journey of self-discovery for the comfortable predictability of a life designed by committee. We spend 40, 50, or even 60 hours a week pouring our lifeblood into tasks that may hold little to no personal meaning, all for the comfort of a predictable outcome. We become so adept at wearing the mask of the diligent employee or the supportive partner that we forget the face underneath. The dreams we once held so dearly begin to feel like childish fantasies, impractical and out of reach. We learn to silence the inner voice that yearns for more, labeling it as selfish or unrealistic. We trade the vibrant, chaotic, and authentic masterpiece we could have created for a neat, tidy, and ultimately soulless print by numbers picture of a life. Then, one day, when time is running out, you'll realize the scariest thing isn't poverty, but living a life that isn't your own. This realization often arrives not as a sudden epiphany, but as a slow, creeping dread. It might hit you on a quiet Sunday evening as you stare at the ceiling, dreading the week ahead. It might come during a milestone birthday when you look in the mirror and see a stranger staring back, their eyes filled with a quiet resignation. You'll see the years stacked behind you like a pile of unread books, filled with stories you were meant to write but never did. You will have a comfortable home, a stable career, and the respect of your peers, but a profound and hollow emptiness will echo in the chambers of your heart. In that moment of terrifying clarity, you will understand that the ultimate poverty isn't a lack of money, but a lack of meaning. It's the soul-crushing bankruptcy that comes from trading your authentic self for a hollow shell of security. You'll be haunted by the ghost of the person you could have become, the artist, the entrepreneur, the scholar, the adventurer, the person who existed in your daydreams before you started prioritizing everyone else's. The regret will be a physical ache, a weight heavier than any financial debt, because you will know with chilling certainty that the one life you were given was spent in service of a script you never wrote. This isn't a call to recklessly abandon all your responsibilities and burn your life to the ground. It is not about selfishness, it is about self-preservation. It is a desperate, urgent plea to recalibrate your priorities before it is too late. The world will always demand more from you than you can give. Your boss will always have another project, your family will always have another need, and society will always have another expectation. If you wait for a perfect, empty moment to start building your own dream, you will wait forever. You must carve out the space for yourself, defiantly and unapologetically. You must learn to say no to others so you can say yes to yourself. This is not an act of rebellion, but an act of profound responsibility to the potential that lies dormant within you. It is about honoring the unique spark you were given, the one that no one else possesses. Neglecting this spark is the greatest disservice you can do not only to yourself, but to the world, which is robbed of the unique contribution you were meant to make. You must become the fierce, unwavering guardian of your own time, your own energy, and your own aspirations. Start keeping your promises to yourself, even if it's just waking up 10 minutes earlier, because every small action today will build the life you truly want tomorrow. Rebuilding trust with yourself is a process, one that begins with the smallest, most manageable of commitments. Don't promise yourself you'll write a novel. Promise yourself you'll write 100 words. Don't vow to run a marathon. Vow to put on your running shoes and walk around the block. That 10 minutes you reclaim in the morning isn't just 10 minutes. It's a declaration. It's a statement that says, my goals matter. My well-being matters. I matter. Each time you honor one of these tiny promises, you lay a new brick in the foundation of your self-respect. You are reteaching your brain, moment by moment, that your word to yourself is law. These small, consistent victories accumulate over time, creating a powerful momentum. They are the seeds from which great achievement grow. Today's 10 minutes of reading becomes tomorrow's chapter, next month's book, and next year's library of wisdom. The life you desperately yearn for isn't built in a single heroic leap. It is meticulously assembled, piece by piece, through the quiet daily discipline of honoring the promises you make to yourself. Start today. Start small, but for the love of your future, start.